Puff would make her take that happy ending and rub it on his nipples, and then they would engage in what...
Year-old son wore that shirt to school last Wednesday, but it wasn't what he returned home.
He said a man took me to the basement and changed him in a closet.
Welcome back to another episode of Mixed Realities with me in Elexius Gene Sam. I just almost ripped my headphones out of my ears.
I got my full name today.
Yeah, I figured it seemed a little more professional. We're both wearing college shirts today, so put on our best clothes for you guys. But today we will be talking about viral news and headlines and crazy viral stories that we've seen pop up on our news feed that I feel like need to be discussed.
And just when I see them, make me want to scream and, Weston, did you see that?
Yeah, so I'll be completely honest. I've only seen half of these on the list, so I'm going to have the same reaction as you guys if you guys haven't seen these stories.
Yeah.
And then the other half I've seen because you can't really not notice them in the news.
Some of them are just literally I see and I'm like, there's so much to say.
Yeah, and like
there's so much to dissect right
like
here.
At the end of the show, we will be talking about the Diddy case. So we will. I wanted to get that out of the way. So if you want to skip to that, we'll be talking about that at the end. But the beginning of this, few videos that we will be reacting to are not that. I feel like these ones are maybe you didn't hear about.
Yeah.
Where did you find these?
Honestly, all over the place. Some of them I thought were jokes, and I had to.
That's what I feel like. A lot of the news nowadays feels like it should be a joke.
Yeah, so like I feel like I'm being punked when I see these.
Yeah. So
I like saw them. A couple of them were on Threads or Instagram, and I was just like, okay, let me figure out if this is actually real. And then I saw some of the videos. Sometimes, yeah. I stopped after a while before I got my last.
It gives
phone.
me too many notifications.
I just turn them off.
Good, yeah. Well, then also nowadays. On Instagram, you're scrolling, and then they'll have like thread stories.
Yeah,
like,
I don't really like that.
Me either, because I feel like there needs to be like a separation between like a Twitter type of a social media and whatever. But that's just whatever. Besides the point. So
but anyway, if you like these videos, like, subscribe, let us know in the comments if you have any feelings of the same hatred and annoyance when we go through these.
Yeah, this first one I'm interested to see. Let's click on that. Okay, let's see.
This is the shirt that I sent him in. It was not dirty.
Jasmine Barahona's 6-year-old son wore that shirt to school last Wednesday, but it wasn't what he returned home in, prompting questions from his mom.
He said a man took me to the basement and changed him in a closet. I immediately tried to hold my cool.
She called her son's school, Hapay Elementary in East Vancouver, demanding to know what happened. The next day she met with the principal, who told her a substitute was working that day, but couldn't provide more details.
I want you to tell me who was in the basement with my child. That's it. That's all I want. And if something did go further than what we're assuming, then I want justice.
Barahona, along with the principal and an advocate, felt it was best for her son, who is on the autism spectrum, to meet with a therapist. Nearly a week later, that still has not happened.
This school is primarily
this
Indigenous
is Vancouver, so this
folk
is in
and families who come from all types of backgrounds, all types of trauma.
CTV News spoke with another parent whose daughter went to Hapay. She said her daughter experienced a similar incident when a teacher changed her in the basement. She eventually pulled her daughter out of the school. The Vancouver Police Department says it's working with the VSB to gather more information. CTV News asked the VSB for an interview, but no one was made available. The board confirms it received an inquiry raising this concern, saying, quote, student safety and
well-being is our top priority. Shut up.
Yo.
Okay, so I watched that video probably 12 times. 12 times, like a million times. And then I was like, this is why people comment paragraphs on posts about how angry they are. I was so mad. I can't even, like,
I'm speechless. Like,
you haven't seen that one, have you?
No, like I really want to punch the substitute teacher in the face.
It gets you the first story. Okay, crazy. This is not the first time that this has happened.
And I hate how they're not showing the substitute teacher's face. Like, I want to see the face. I want to know the criminal. So like he's a criminal.
So my mom used to be like, I'd catch a case. I would catch a case.
Yeah,
if they were like, my kid was in the basement getting undressed, the clean shirt, and it's happened before.
Yeah, like that's
You're just undressing kids.
What's
in
the
closets?
school? What, like, they're not like doing anything. Like
Anything. They don't have any comments. They haven't located the substitute teacher. Are you joking? That is so crazy to me.
that's like I would literally go straight to the school, demand to know who the substitute teacher is, and then confront them and call them authorities.
This is why like we don't even have kids. We're not even married, and I'm like, I don't even know if I want to send my kid to a public school. Cause look at this.
Well, this
or
is in
any
Canada.
school.
This is in Canada.
But like just
Which makes me not want to go to Canada at
if
all.
my kid came home in a different change of clothes.
Yeah, that's the
and
weird.
said this substitute teacher undressed me in the basement, in a basement room, for no reason because my clothes were clean.
Like, the substitute.
So what? Like, what were you doing?
Yeah.
Why would you take his clothes? So the substitute teacher took the child's clothes off and changed him.
For no reason.
If something else was going on, as the mom said, bless her heart, that is something else going on. And then the other daughter,
Yeah. Okay.
experiencing the same
And
thing.
I hate how they said, oh, well, they didn't want to do anything, and they wanted to put the son or daughter in therapy because they're on the spectrum. Like, okay, well, what about the other kid? The other kid,
Yeah,
like,
exactly. And like, was he sought out because he was on the spectrum?
yeah, and I wonder.
Oh, this kid's too stupid to tell his mom what actually happened. No offense, but like, you know what I mean? If you're someone who's gonna hurt a child, obviously, if they are disabled or have something wrong with them, you probably think it's a better advantage for them not to speak up because they're young. They're like in elementary school.
I mean, when I'm editing this video, I am gonna see if I can find a video or a picture of this substitute teacher and put it in this
I'm
video.
like, I just like, I'm like,
Like, it
I'm
needs to be
at
seen.
a loss. I'm at a loss for words because like my mom is crazy.
yeah.
She would go to the school and be
Same
like,
with my dad.
Where's the teacher?
Yeah, my dad would have done something
They
crazy
would have
like that.
walked straight in there and was like, bring me the teacher now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Especially kids get spilled on all the time. That shirt was pearly white.
Yeah, the shirt was clean.
Come
and
on.
And it's happened to multiple students.
Yeah.
Two at least that they know of. So, like,
They had the nerve to be like, this has happened before, but they asked to not be like, come on. And you're still, and the daughter was pulled out of school. She's pulled out of school. How many kids are we going to pull out of school
yeah, exactly.
for
until
somebody
happens.
else's behavior? You know what I mean?
No. I mean, like I said, I want to find a picture and figure out who
And
this
are
person
you telling
is.
me I would go in there and be like, so y'all don't have cameras? My school had cameras everywhere.
Like, this,
Y'all don't
this
have cameras?
substitute teacher might know someone or might be a friend of, like, the...
Yeah.
Or, like, there might be something behind this, who this substitute teacher is that's making them show. They don't show the picture. They don't tell any information about them, but...
My school had cameras everywhere.
Yeah.
If you walked into the basement, they would see us walking into the basement?
Yeah, that's so weird. And then...
Are you joking?
And one, like... It's not their job to be doing that. It should be probably someone like an administrator or...
I understand why people go to jail. You know what I mean? And like... because I would go, ooh.
Well, this episode's starting off
Feisty.
I didn't.
Feisty. Yeah, that one
was a good one. That was a good one. And I'm kind of mad now.
No, I was like a little. I'm really mad. Like I'm like hot. Like I really would like.
This makes me want to go to Vancouver, put my kid in that school, so they
Like,
have a problem. No, I'm kidding.
I have never like intentionally laid hands on someone first. I would go in there swinging.
Yeah,
like you're crazy.
All right.
Anyway, that one's intense. Okay, we started off strong with that one.
All right, this one's
to rewrite history because they had a failed campaign, they had a failed presidency. They put her as the border czar. She never went to the border. So this is about incompetency. It's not about ideology or it's not about.
Oh my goodness. We're just going to get some help here.
I guess I've never seen
Cameron.
the full beginning.
Let me come back to Lydia while we get some help for Cameron
absolutely
here.
Nothing. What are you doing, bro?
Lydia,
go help her.
President, we're going to go to a break right
here. Yeah,
you
guys. We're going to a break.
Okay. This man continued, and he wasn't going to stop. He was waiting for someone to tell him that we're going on a break. She just fainted in front of him.
Yeah, like he must not like her. They must have some
he must hate her.
They must have some work beef that they.
He just looked at her on the ground.
I hope there's someone off camera, because it is zoomed in on him immediately helping her while it's just him, but it looks like that he's just looking at her and doing nothing.
Him saying like I think we're gonna. He started talking before he was like, we're gonna go on a break. Like the break should have happened as soon as she fell on the ground.
No, exactly. Like there should have been no he should have been like, we're going on a break, and then went to go help, or just honestly, she's fainted. Everyone will be like,
he waited for someone else to tell him that we're gonna go on a break as a person next to you fainted.
I mean, to his defense, maybe he's just trying to be professional and they're on live TV, but like still, like me personally, I would have just ran right to her. The only other defense that he might have is someone off camera is already helping him, and he looked and they're already helping him.
These are live TV robots.
Yeah.
Because he didn't even attempt to just grab her.
No, he did absolutely nothing.
He just looked at her.
They might, like
he didn't get up at all.
What do you think happened to her? Do we know? Maybe
maybe she has fainting spells all the time, and he's seen it before.
Okay,
but
the people do faint.
People have fainting spells. You know what I mean? So maybe he's like, okay, she fainted, but like the casualness in his face,
it's too casual.
It's too much. It's too much.
Yeah.
He looks like he could care less.
Yeah. I'm going to also look up something while I'm editing this to figure out what the heck happened to her, and I'll post it on the screen if I can find it, or paste a story.
Honestly, he's like OG, like someone that can stay calm in a traumatic experience, because I would be like, oh my gosh. From
that angle, he looks like he did try to help, but then just like that. He should have, why did it take him? Stop. It took him too long to say we're going to break. That's what it was. It's just like, we're going to the break. Like, so was that even a question?
He didn't like her political beliefs.
Oh yeah. Hashtags. I can't believe he didn't go up. Oh, everyone's roasting him in the comments.
Oh yeah.
So he let her fall directly smack on her head and didn't flinch.
Yeah, like that's intense. He didn't move at all. Look at him.
Ooh, Jesus.
Oh, camera's still rolling. Let me just get back to normal. Can't do that. Not me. I'd be like, oh my God.
Her battery died. Oh my God.
The comments are savage. We don't really like those.
Yeah, those are mean comments. I'm not going to read all those. Some of those. All right,
some of those are really bad.
Today I signed an executive order to launch the first ever self-deportation program for illegal aliens. We are making it as easy as possible for illegal aliens to leave America. Any illegal alien can simply show up at an airport and receive a free flight out of our country. We have also launched a phone app called CBP Home. That's CBP Home, where illegals can book a free flight to any foreign country. As long as it's not here, you can go anywhere you want.
Oh,
we're also adding a
trip to a vacation
very important exit bonus for illegals to further incentivize their self-deportation. This deportation bonus will save American taxpayers billions and billions of dollars. What Biden did to this country can never be explained, will never, ever be accepted. Eventually, when the illegals are gone, it will save us trillions of dollars. However, if illegal aliens choose to remain in America, they're remaining illegally, and they will face severe consequences. Illegal aliens who stay in America face punishments including significant jail time, enormous financial penalties, confiscation of all property, garnishment of all wages, imprisonment and incarceration, and sudden deportation in a place and manner solely of our discretion. So to all illegal aliens who book your free flight right now, we want you out of America. But if you're really good, we're going to try and help you get back in. Thank you.
All right. So
I just first of all, he sounds like he is joking.
Yeah, he does because half the time he is joking.
He just sounds like
but
an absolute douchebag.
Yeah, but the only good thing about that is a free flight anywhere. You could kind of be like, oh, okay, anywhere. So I could like go to Dubai, like pay for my flight to Dubai. I mean, but then the other good thing about it is if you are in a sketchy situation as an illegal here, where you feel like you're gonna get caught soon, do this so then you can come back. Yeah. Because if you get caught as an illegal here, you can't come back.
Now he's saying if you leave and you do good.
Yes, so that's the only good thing about this, plus the free flight. But
I just like, it feels like I'm living.
Let's be honest, like who's actually going to do that?
I feel like I'm living in like a movie.
Yeah,
for him to be like, book your free flight now.
Yeah, it's like
America will pay for it. Hey, we also just made an app.
I wonder how many people did it actually.
I know. We also just made an app that sounds like E.T. Phone Home.
Yeah, I couldn't really understand CPD
phone home.
That's like the numbers, like when you're trying to spell something on the car, like on the phone, and you have to put like C for cat, P for push up. Like
he just made it sound like E.T. CPT phone home.
Is it just me, or is like Trump's White House, they're really good at, they're like upgraded their camera equipment, like all their videos are like super top quality videos. It's like they're all like made from like red cameras. It's like the propaganda.
Like, if anything, I want to look good.
Yeah. Whoever's doing the videos for this administration, they're going way too above and beyond. This looks like a movie.
Flight now. I actually did see on Instagram this guy who lived in California,
and he booked the flight.
He sold his house, booked a flight,
and he was an illegal.
And he
bought a house as an illegal.
He had like, I guess his something expired. Something.
Oh, he had like a visa,
but
maybe?
he was
staying in here. He had like a work visa. So he's illegal now.
Yeah, he had work visa, and his wife is a U.S. citizen. She's American. So they both left. And he was like,
he got a free flight?
Yeah, so he left. And I remember him being like, they're like, I think they're in Paris or something.
I think you showed me this.
And they're like, did a whole thing about how I lived in California for like 20 years and met my wife, had a house, had a family. He's like, it's sad to go now, but now we're here.
Yeah, and you got a free flight.
That was like the only...
So is it like, I
wouldn't say the only nice thing, but that was like the only like honestly nice one that I've seen on social media. Everything else is like ice banging in on car doors and stuff. But that guy was kind of like, my time's up.
Well, he's a different type of illegal because he came here legally on a visa and then his visa expired and he didn't leave. Now the fact that someone that's like hopping the border or like actually going to do this, I doubt they will, but if they are smart and in a situation, like I said, where they might be in a sketchy situation, they're seeing ICE people all around. But then you have your whole family, you can get a free vacation to anywhere in the world. I want to say free, but you can get a plane ticket to anywhere in the world.
I wish we had.
Where would you go if you're an illegal immigrant?
Argentina.
Why?
Because I was on Zillow one time and I saw a bungalow that I really want to live in.
Argentina, yeah. Argentina's nice.
I wish we had like a camera above the world to see. That sounds so bad.
Like a satellite?
Like, well, yeah, but just like how we can... Remember the Truman Show? How we can just see everything like it's just a fake life? Because we're living in a freaking simulation. You can't tell me any difference. But I want to see people like... Imagine like just a rush of people going to their flights and picking out where they're going.
Oh, like when you see those like maps and you see the planes like flying.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just figure out where they're going.
So what made you think of that?
I have no idea. The way he talks makes me feel like I'm living in a freaking movie.
Yeah, he feels like a movie president.
He feels like I have yet to hear anything that comes out of his mouth that I'm like, okay, he's being serious.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? I feel like it's always sarcasm, just like
it's like
nothing even about him being on a president. The way he talks kills me.
Yeah.
I could not be like working as his like security and not be like, oh, you're joking, right?
I think he's just not good at public speaking.
No.
Like he's like he's good at public talking. Like he's good at talking, but giving like a speech like this, he's not really good at that. He's good at riffing, but then as soon as he starts like reading off a teleprompter, you can tell he's like he's definitely reading something.
He also will never ever,
because his reading's probably not great. Let's be honest.
He will never ever be able to take Biden's name out of his mouth.
What?
Biden. He'll never
Biden?
be able to take Biden's name.
No,
Biden ruined our country every time.
Well, that's the thing. But they all talk about him, and I think it's like the presidents, at least since Trump's like he started off like remember, I don't remember if you remember this, but in 2016 when he started running, he was like going viral because he was all the other Republican candidates, he was like making fun of them on stage during the debates.
Yeah. Do I remember?
Yeah, so then like he started like the whole like bashing other politicians really hard, and then now all the politicians just bash each other super hard, and it's just very toxic.
Very toxic.
But some of it's true. But then some of it's just like, why? Come on, let's kind of use a better.
I guess the only good thing about
nowadays.
this is, the only good thing about this is a free flight and the chance to come back.
Yeah, like I said, if you're in a sketchy situation where you're seeing ICE all around and you're like, okay, they're gonna be knocking on my door any day, I would like be like, okay, give up and then book a flight to some other place.
You know what I mean?
And I'm interested. I wonder if it's like, what if my wife? Well, then I guess if you're married to someone who's legal, then you would be automatically legalized. So that wouldn't make sense. Never mind. Next video.
Free flights also scare me. But
Yeah.
anyway,
I wonder
we'll come back to that. A free flight. Are there seats? Like, what's the catch here?
All right, what's this? Parents outraged after elementary school put whites only and colored only signs above water fountains. What the fuck?
Let me breathe for a sec. Go to the next slide. There's a video. Let me breathe.
I don't want to go to that.
Oh my God.
Cafeteria that said white only and colored only.
School district spokesperson tells me the signs were a part of a history lesson about Ruby Bridges, the first black child to desegregate an all-white public school in the South. Still, that didn't extinguish the firestorm. A group of parents voiced their disappointment about the signs on social media and at a school board meeting. Wednesday, I spoke with one parent who asked I not show her face for this report. She says because she spoke out against the signs, she now fears retaliation.
To limit as much backlash I can.
Wednesday morning, the school principal sent a message to parents that read in part, quote, in this instance, the teacher did not adhere to the approved resources or recommended lessons provided by the district. While we do not believe there was any ill intent, the activity was not included in the teacher's submitted lesson plan and was not approved by school administrators.
My son was over a fountain drinking and ridiculed because there was a colored only sign above. And
okay.
Huh. Am I rewatching this?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, damn. Like, once again, why are they not showing the teacher's face? I'm going to add a picture of this teacher's face if I can find it. Because that's messed up.
My teachers weren't. We have a handful of bad teachers at the moment. Everyone's going crazy because. Hold up. Let's go back. Do you remember learning about that in school?
Yeah.
I remember that very clearly. Obviously, that's why we're in school together.
Mm-hmm.
It was a positive thing. It wasn't. They took a positive learning experience that was, it was negative before that, but that girl is a positive learning experience. That's why we get to go to school together. That's why we're existing in our public schools together. You look around, you're like, hell yeah. You don't put up signs to take you back in the moment. Why am I going back in the moment? Why am I going back in the moment and putting up signs for these young kids to be laughed at and ridiculed? Like, that makes no sense to me. Where's the teacher's face? Because again, I would go straight up to the school and be like, what is going on here? Should all the black people leave? Should all the white people leave?
Yeah, it's crazy. Like,
did y'all put, okay, so if we did that, did y'all put Indian only? Hispanic only? Because we're already desegregated. So obviously the classroom's not just one black, one white.
No,
you know
exactly.
what I mean? Do we just put black signs and white signs, or do we have Indian signs and Muslim signs and all these other
well, I think
races
that's what,
that coexist
technically that
together?
would be now, and back then it would probably all just fall under colored, I'm assuming. I'm assuming.
Right, but it was... let's go back. I have no words.
Yeah.
I have no words.
I'm trying to find right now a picture of this freaking teacher, because
I have no
this is going to
words.
make it so I could either completely make this like, because if it's a black teacher, then that's even kind of more messed up.
Why it's only sign using
But
elementary?
it's in Atlanta.
Elementary school lesson? Are you joking?
Once
You
again, they're not
also-
putting a picture of the teacher.
So, she was fired, right? Because that was against their teacher plan.
Mm-hmm.
So you just decided to do that. Like, did you... Oh my God, I want to be in that head. I want to be in her mind so bad. Like, today I'm going to go to school with my elementary school kids and put up whites only and black only sign and leave them there.
Yeah, that's so messed up. Okay, so if I can find a picture of this teacher, I'm putting her face in this video, because that's just...
I was absolutely floored. I just like...
That's not how... Yeah, it's just...
And then, like, for the ignorant people underneath this post, right? There's some people who are like out like, oh my God, this is crazy. Yeah, this is insane. There's some people like, would y'all expect the black community need to stick together and tell our kids how it used to really be? Give them a... No. So there's some people that piss me off.
Wait, so you say there's people
there's some colored people on that post saying how, what y'all expect? The racism still exists. We need to teach our kids about blah, blah, blah. That's the wrong way. That's literally the wrong way. So, because doing that, her black kid was also offended. So who's actually learning
So
here?
the only problem with when they're not showing the teacher's face or even giving their name, it makes it seem like maybe she might be of color, because
I know,
because it might be like, if not knowing, if it makes me think
that was
a lot of people go to it thinking it's a white teacher, so we're getting mad about it. But the fact that they're like ABC, CNN are not showing you the name or the picture, it might be a black teacher, so that may make it less controversial.
It goes to say that, like,
but I'm gonna try to find that teacher's face.
There's some people that I wouldn't even say, this sounds so bad, I wouldn't even say it's like colored privilege. There's just some people that make it their problem. There's people that like that indulge in, we're segregated because you did this and you did that. Like, there's some people that love to come after other black people that don't like have the same views as them.
Yeah.
Like, there's some people that play the victims all the time, and they're such a problem. It makes me so mad. Like, I remember being bullied in high school because I had black friends.
Mm-hmm.
And just like certain things that I thought were more normal than the next guy. You know what I mean? Just because you, like, that's like backwards racism almost. You know what I mean? Some people always, like, even that freaking, the video of the guy.
Because you have black friends or white friends?
Because I have white friends.
Yeah, okay, you said black friends.
Oh, my bad. But I feel like there's people out there that like, that are black that make racism the problem. Like, you know what I mean? Like, even that Jenkins guy.
Yeah.
There's some people on that post still that got up the other day. Like, one of my friends that I used to be in high school with, I commented on one of those posts, like on Instagram, comments back like, what are you talking about? You don't see this video? And I'm like, so you're just, there's some one-sided people out there that drive me crazy. But that, like,
yeah, I don't even know how to.
There's
like I said, if you don't know the color of the skin color of the teacher, it's really hard to kind of be, if it's like, because it could be a race, like if it's a white school teacher, then it's a racial thing, and that's really messed up. But if it's a black school teacher, then now I'm trying to dissect the psyche behind it. Like, why are you doing this? Like, is this, you want the younger black youth and the white youth to feel what we felt in the 60s? Because that's not the way to go about it.
So what happens when the cotton picking in the slave chapter comes up?
Yeah, you.
What then? What?
Oh,
Then what?
I mean, we're getting.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What happens with that? If she gonna put the sign up, what happens when we learn about how they?
All right, we're going to a field trip.
Half of y'all stay in the bus, half of y'all go fucking pick some cotton. Sorry, just oh my gosh, that made me mad, man. That made me so mad.
Yeah, okay. Once again, I'm gonna try to find this teacher's
mad,
because that changes the whole narrative, knowing
everything.
they're racial, and then them making their kids to do this, because it's. But the funny, that's like I said, in all the news articles, it doesn't say the teacher's name or their face, which makes it very sketchy in the sense of like, are they just trying to start? Like, is the media just trying to start like a race war discussion type of deal, which they try to normally doing?
Also, I know we live in a time where kids are on their screens all the time and they're way above their age. They look 10. I mean, when they're like, these are elementary school kids. Are you joking? Yeah. There's like, elementary school is so young to be doing that psychological crap. You know what I mean? Anyway, bless their hearts.
All right, next one.
Woohoo. Got a little mad on that one. Gosh.
Tonight, a Metro Atlanta mother lies brain dead in a hospital room, being kept alive only because she's pregnant.
So her case is now raising a lot of new questions about Georgia's controversial heartbeat law. Adriana Smith's family says they've been forced to wait without a voice while doctors try to keep her body functioning long enough to deliver her baby.
11 Alive's Cody Alcorn is live outside of Emory Midtown, where Adriana was just moved hours ago. Cody, what have you learned about what's going on here?
Well, Jennifer and Ron, Adriana has been on a ventilator for the past 90 days. Now, as you mentioned, she was moved here just hours ago so doctors can deliver her baby when it is time. Her family visits her every day, including her young son, who believes his mom is just sleeping. A crushing emotional toll, as you can imagine. The family says it's been made worse because they have no say on what happens next. 30-year-old Adriana Smith was about 9 weeks pregnant when she started having bad headaches in February.
Enough to know that something was wrong.
April Newkirk says her daughter went to Northside Hospital for help.
They gave her some medication, but they didn't do any tests. They didn't do any CT scans. If they did, they would have caught it.
The next morning, Adriana's boyfriend noticed something was terribly wrong.
She was gasping for air in her sleep, gargling. More than likely it was blood. She was taken to Emory, Decatur, and then she was transferred here.
To Emory University Hospital, where Adriana worked as an RN.
All these are happening in Atlanta.
There was nothing doctors could do.
They did a CT scan and she had blood clots all in her head. So they had asked me if they could do a procedure to relieve them, and I said yes. And then they called me back and they said that they couldn't do it.
Doctors declared Adriana brain dead.
I feel as if somebody dropped the ball.
There's so much to dissect.
Would you want, if you were that woman, would you want to be kept alive to have your kid?
First of all, it's really, really, really sad that they did not do a CT scan.
Yeah.
Before she was transferred or any of that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I've gone into the hospital with severe stomach, and they've done the whole spiel.
Yeah. I mean, do you have insurance? I wonder if she didn't have insurance. That's even makes it even worse.
She worked at a hospital.
Oh,
she definitely has insurance. She was an RN. She definitely had insurance.
She definitely has insurance, and it's probably a decent paying job too.
So then you get transferred, and then they do a CT scan, and then they figured out they have brain bleeds, and there's nothing you can do about it. Also, you missed the part where they said that the kid has blood in his brain, so the infant in her stomach has blood in his brain, so he can come out blind, disabled, in a wheelchair, anything. He doesn't even know. They don't even know if the infant's gonna live. has blood in his brain. There's nothing they can do about it until they get delivered. But as it's in there with that defect, you can come out blind, disabled, can't walk, can't do that. Yeah. No.
So if you were in her situation, you would want them to pull the plug on you in the baby.
I think that's really, really sad. And I think that I would just want to be able to my family to be able to choose.
To choose?
That's why
I think that's
not the only thing that's wrong with this, but like the abortion, all the laws and all like is so bizarre that they can't even choose what's best for their family and their daughter.
Yeah, that's not.
And the
that's
kid
not right.
and the kid that's sitting in her stomach.
Yeah.
You literally they have to wait. Do you know how traumatic that is? Going to visit your brain dead daughter, knowing she's pregnant and knowing that the mom is having to pay for all those medical bills.
Yeah, that's
no
a lot
one's
of
helping.
money.
And then the mom is old, the family's old. You have no idea what their situation is or if they can even take care of this
afford it. Yeah,
dang child.
Yeah.
So now they're going broke, having their daughter brain dead hooked up to a machine.
Yeah.
You know how expensive that is?
No, yeah, I definitely that's going to cost
You
maybe
think they have
hundreds
all
of
the
thousands
money
of
in the
dollars.
world?
Yeah, because that could be like $100,000 bill.
Easy.
Yeah.
Already. Not to mention the CTs. That's already 100.
Yeah,
you've been on a Villanite for 60 days.
Those
you're
are
already
expensive
up there.
things, like a CT scan, and then being on like the ventilators and all those. And I don't know if they said ventilators, but the life support stuff. That's hundreds of thousands. That could be hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
If they keep her, because it said 90 days.
Yeah.
That's 3 months, and it hasn't been delivered yet. So it could be 4 or 5 months, and that's it could be hundreds of thousands of dollars in medical bills.
So they're at the point of waiting basically for the fetus, but the only reason why the timeline is crazy because apparently it had a heartbeat during those weeks.
Yeah,
you know
that's
what
like
I mean?
a heartbeat. But that's what.
So that could be, what is it, 6 weeks?
Yeah, dang.
So now you have months.
Yeah.
You have months of going to visit your brain dead daughter. I just feel like the saddest part about that is the parents not being able to choose. You can't choose what to do with your daughter. So like, you know how like when you're married, you have the right to tell me that I pull the plug. They don't have the right to do that because she has a kid in her stomach.
Yeah, and I feel like
I just know that this is like there's so many cases out there. This is not the only one we're gonna see with the new abortion laws.
Yeah,
and
this is specifically Georgia's heartbeat law. This is which I think that's even more. I feel like you
terrifying.
Always need to, like in this situation like this, give it the choice to the family, and like if I was a woman and this happened to me, I would want to pull the plug. But the only good situation that come out of this, if a miracle happens and she gets out of this coma somehow. You know how there's like probably a 0.000000001% of her actually coming back, but that's the only situation where this is an okay thing where she somehow like a miracle happens and she comes back, and then it'll be a blessing. But I doubt that's going to happen.
And bless that kid's heart that's going to see his sleeping mom.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. You're traumatizing two kids. You're traumatizing the kid that's alive, seeing his mom sleeping, that he thinks sleeping, and then the kid that's going to be born, if it has problems, he's going to be special needs, and so.
I feel like in a couple of years they're going to reassess that law. They have to. More cases like this, at least you would hope.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? At least you would hope.
All right. Let's get to the Diddy stuff. What you've all been waiting for.
Wishing.
This case has been interesting because the more it's going on these past few days, and this like the time this is released, there's probably going to be 2 more days of the case going on. The fact that Diddy got Brian Steele as his lawyer, which I'm a fan of because I liked Young Thug and he got Young Thug out of jail.
Yeah.
The fact that he got him on his lawyer's team doesn't look good on Casey's part in the sense that Brian Steele is a really good lawyer.
Yeah, and you can't like just dog Brian Steele. He's a lawyer. That's his job.
It's his job, and so originally I was like, God damn it, Brian! Like I was just,
I know.
I liked you, man.
I was like, dang.
What you did for Young Thug, I was rooting for you, watching it. Like but then when I saw this, but then it made me in my head. I'm like, dang, Diddy might get off, but there has been a lot of weird stuff that has been coming up in the trial so far. So let me get to this video on the Breakfast Club of them discussing it.
The freak offs down in steps as well. She said that the first step was there was like masturbation, and they would have to do masturbation. It would be her and the escort, and she would have to talk out loud and describe what she was seeing. She would have to be very descriptive because allegedly Puff would want to hear that. So that first step was the descriptive foreplay, and then step 2 was the touching. Now step 2, she alleges, is that's when all the baby oil comes out. Step 3 is oral, and she says that a lot of times she would rush to get to the oral because she just wanted to get it over with, because she kept making a point of she didn't want to do this. She just was doing it because she was so in love, and she said she didn't want him to go and do it with anybody else. Now step 4 was the actual intercourse where they would engage in sex, and she said that sometimes Puff would just watch allegedly, but then she said other times he might join in if they were really comfortable with an escort. So that would look like her giving Puff fellatio and the other escort having sex with her at the same time. Now she did give us an update I didn't know if I needed. She said that a lot of times after they would finish, the escorts would have a happy ending, and Puff would make her take that happy ending and rub it on his nipples, and then they would engage in whatever they were going to do, just Cassie and Puff allegedly.
So his man milk on Puff's nipples?
That's what Cassie is alleging, that she that Puff liked her to rub it on his chest and on his nipples.
Jesus.
And
so chocolate covered nipples with a semen drip.
Oh my gosh.
Yo,
man.
And glaze. We have to say glaze.
I could have
Diddy
heard
likes
that.
his nipples medium well with a semen glaze.
Yeah, she said that anytime that she was having intercourse during the freak offs by herself, and Puff would just be allegedly listening or watching, he would then ask her about it after, and he'd be very descriptive. Like he would ask her, how did the D feel?
Did she rub the semen in the nipples like a DJ scratches a record, or did she rub it in like lotion?
Keep going.
What you think?
She didn't really specify.
Next level effed up. That's like you are just a power hungry person that just thinks you're like a puppet master, egomaniac, narcissist, psychopath.
I just want to see his brain. I want to be in his. I want to be in his brain,
probably,
and see how bad it is in there, because I don't even think that's a kink. That's worse than it.
It's like a very strong an addiction almost. It's like. You know how if
that
you're a
makes
drug
me
addict,
throw up right now.
Also, what wasn't in that clip was the amount of drugs that they did. When we were watching it, they did so many drugs. It was shrooms, ketamine, ecstasy, cocaine. It's like, what the heck? How are these people alive?
One guy said he smoked it.
Yeah, and then what do you get?
I'm
from putting cum on your nipples.
You zoom into my face right there. I'm in distraught because I just could never imagine. First of all, there is a kink where people like to see their wives bang other people, whatever. But that kink went too far, taking that happy ending and rubbing it on
your chest and nipples.
And what do you? Yeah, baby. Rub it on me.
Well, and then remember we saw that she told him her grandfather's name, and he's like, "Oh yeah, you call me your grandfather." He wanted her to call him her grandfather's name, which that just shows and then you show me the picture of his kids, and I'm like,
disgusting.
I was like, "Yo,
I am so glad I never liked this man. I'm so glad I never liked this man."
Oh, I used to be a fan.
I never liked him.
When this all happened, I had to take a quote. I had to take a quote of his off of my profile. I was like,
I always was that guy's weird.
Yeah.
I was always I don't like him,
yeah.
and
I guess I
might have
really
judged.
I just liked his
by
music.
its cover. I never liked him.
I guess I only liked 2 songs of his, but they were my 2 favorite songs.
Yeah.
And. I'm coming home. That's that song.
This is just the beginning.
That used to be my favorite song. Now I can't listen to it at all.
This is just the beginning of the trial, and I'm a little bit terrified that he's gonna get off. I hope he doesn't.
Me either.
Because I truthfully believe everyone that's against him. But for her to participate for so long, they're just going to deem her as
it's like, why didn't you
as
do
a bad
something
person.
earlier?
They're going to be like, she's a blah, blah, the S word, the B, every word in the book. They're going to make her seem like she wanted all of that. But she was a child.
Yeah, she was 20 years old.
Meeting a 40-year-old. Like, I remember being 20 years old. I remember being 18 years old and a grown man hitting on me and looking at them and being like, I'm literally a child. I'm a child.
Like, why are you doing this?
Like
when we go to pub and I see like,
and it's kind of like, and like, I remember it kind of being cool. Like, it made me so mad. I remember it kind of being cool. Like, oh, he's 30. Well, like, oh, he's
30 is different. Once you're in your 40s,
you go back and you're just like, how disgusting it is for a grown man to look at me knowing I'm a child.
Yeah.
And like hit on you, but then like you get this infatuate, like you get like infatuated with like, oh my God, an older guy is like, taking me seriously, treating me like an adult, and like, you know what I mean? Like, and that is even worse because she
also had her whole career tied up.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
She had a 10.
I was done. I'm saying that's even worse when you're not just a regular person and you have someone that has your entire career in your hands.
Yeah, she had a 10 album deal with his record label.
There's a video of
10
her.
albums.
There's a video of her with her mom around that time where they released that she had a 10 album deal. She looks so young, Weston. She looks like a child.
With the mom?
No, Cassie.
Oh, okay.
There's a video of her like taking with her mom.
Oh, okay.
And like around the time that they gave her that deal, and she looks like a high schooler. She looks so young. She's fresh out of high school, goddamn. Yeah, that is just so sad and honestly disgusting. That man is a creep. That man is insane. I feel like that's disgusting.
Yeah,
I feel like it's not real. And for me to like can't even grasp that, I can't imagine how she feels to actually have gone through it and lived through it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's a monster.
The mouse. What happened to the mouse on this screen?
He's a monster.
I don't know what the heck's going on. I'm gonna click it. All right, this is the last one. I don't know why.
Diddy makes my head hurt.
How you been, man? I've been seeing you so long. How much did we drink?
Usher's wish this clip never existed.
You trying to say something, Usher?
I'm trying to say something.
What do you want to say?
I don't know if I should, but I'm trying. If I could only eat one food for the rest of my life. My favorite thing to eat. Yeah.
I can't with y'all.
Nah, I'm saying I like fish.
You can have caviar, fish, you can have
He just seems like a creep.
He's so creepy.
Mussels.
Seafood. Yeah, there you go. Got it.
You have to do a big category.
I see it, I eat it. There you go.
Go ahead, brother.
See, knowing everything, it's kind of creepy because all the conspiracy about what Usher did with Justin Bieber and they did.
Can of beer.
How like Usher made him hang out with Diddy for a weekend.
Yeah, right.
You drank
I hate that video.
When you said fired up?
Yeah.
Bieber with me this weekend.
Yeah.
I hate that video.
It just seems so creepy.
Sweating like Uncle Leroy at the dinner table.
He looks so disgusting. I hate this man.
Look, why is he sweating? He's like, dang, something.
They look like they be doing some bad things. He looks like a snake, dude. He looks like he is he looks like a snake. He looks like he has such a big.
I don't even know like a snake,
scary,
a troll. Like he looks like some evil like minion
he looks like
troll
a
thingy.
cocky, like annoying, like especially that apology video after the video of Cassie in the hotel. I'm in a better place now. I'm going to therapy.
Yeah.
Just looking into his eyes, I'm like, are you even there? Are you human?
I think he's just like thinks he can control everyone and anything. Like he thinks I think he thinks he's like the next coming of Jesus almost. Like that's probably in his mind. He's like, I'm better than everyone. I can control everyone. No one can take me down. And because he's probably getting away with all these things. That's probably what Jeffrey Epstein felt like.
Scary.
You get away with so much stuff, and you probably had so many close calls that you got away with. Like, oh, nothing can touch me.
Bag of money.
Yeah, exactly. But
this was a very This was a roller coaster.
Yeah.
Of topics.
I gotta. It's gonna take me a little bit to edit this one. I'm gonna have a fun weekend trying to find pictures of people that on the internet. Because some of those things, it's just you need the picture of the person to kind of get the full context.
Yeah, I need.
But all right, I guess like and subscribe. Until next time, peace.
I was disheveled. You gotta zoom into my face.
When?